Hello, friends. Welcome back to the Comfy Org stream. I'm here with Phil, and it's me, Purz, and today we're going to play with Juan again and again because it's so cool. Like we could probably do 500 more streams and still not even scratch the surface of what's possible in Juan. So,
Easy.
you're going to see more and more of these because this community is extremely robust. Uh, yeah, there's new stuff being trained every single day for the Wanosphere. So we're gonna try and help you make sense of it and see what you can do with it. Because you hear these terms, PUSA, PUSA, and there's all kinds of new stuff. And what does it even do? That's what the community is for. Go hang out on Banadoko, hang out on our Discord. And just try to soak it in because there's VACE control, there's LoRAs and to drive things, to drive style, there's LoRAs to distill the amount of steps it takes to get to the answer. There's about 1.5 million different models themselves, like flavors and variants of the models. We're gonna try and just take it real easy. And just slide in with some really fun image to image morphing stuff. You might have seen these on the internet, where you take one image, you take a source image and a destination image, and the AI kind of just manipulates the time between them. So I've made a few myself. It's super fun. You make a bunch of pictures of yourself on vacation or whatever, and then transition between them. And then when you're done, you transition the last one to the first one that you did, and you have yourself like a full loop. So we'll do one of those today because they're super fun and sort of brain dead fun that you can have. I know you guys also have a million things you've already made, so this is a really cool way to reuse work that you already have and pictures, like pictures of your own life. So and again, welcome, Phil. I didn't even say hi. You got anything cool going on? Anything strange happened to you today? Anything fun happened to you this week?
Are you fishing for what
Fishing.
you know I'm doing? Yeah. I mean, I just literally the 11th hour before the stream came online, I put together a new machine. Everything's pretty much the same, except I got a 6000 RTX Blackwell, 96 gigabytes of VRAM, so I'm really stoked to push one into that like full 1920 range and just see what I can do.
Well, us too, man. Us too, buddy. And tell them what you put it in.
I built it into like a super. This thing's tiny. I'll have to drop it in the Discord and show people. It's a micro machine.
Pictures, yeah.
Yeah, this thing is absolutely tiny. It's probably the most powerful mini PC it possibly can be. It's like the whole machine is like this big. It's cool. So small.
Yeah, I mean, like that's the dream, right? As much power as you can in as small of a case as you can. So and now you can just go anywhere with your crazy AI machine. So
I'm
way to
scared,
go, man! Congratulations,
honestly.
buddy.
Appreciate it, man. Thank you.
Yeah, so let's get into the nerd stuff. What have you been using Juan for lately?
Yeah, I mean, like you said at the beginning, there's like way too much stuff this thing can do. I mean, one of the workflows that really interested me the most was everyone got their hands on VACE, and as we know, VACE is like the mother of all control inputs, right? We got depth, we got canning, we got image reference, we got normals, open pose, and there's variations that are like trajectory driven, and so like it is just an insanely versatile model. But the thing that was really interesting to me was like, how can I use this thing for like traditional VFX? And so my obvious like first train of thought was inpainting, right? How can I inpaint things into reality that clearly aren't there, but also kind of like keep everything untouched, right? And like really leverage that that init footage. So one of the first workflows, and one of the ones I'm still dialing, is like grabbing a target with I'm using depth and open pose overlaid as a one control video, and then using the power of VACE to be like, okay, here's the character image, here's my control video with depth and open pose with a mask, and in-paint the character in place of that person, but keep everything else untouched. And so what you kind of get is like this, depending on the style, like a Roger Rabbit situation where I can in-paint like very 2D flat illustration in a realistic world, or just like straight up realism into realism. And that's just human body pose, right? The other thing I want to experiment with is like kind of background in painting. There's a lot of really cool stuff on Bano where someone created a really precise mask of like a skyline and whatever, and they like in painted a rocket coming down and exploding, but everything else was like completely untouched, and it had like a sign like a welcome to wherever town in the foreground. It was very well done, and it kind of inspired me to just kind of like play with reality, right? Because that's like the thing that I find the most interesting is kind of going back to like, you know, old school YouTube, people running around and like with cardboard guns and whatever, but the VFX in that
Yeah.
crappy footage are really good.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. Yeah, there's so many things we can do with Vase. I think we might have done a stream on Vase like maybe once, but again, we only have an hour really to like dive in. So, like I said earlier, we're gonna just keep kind of doing these WAN deeper and deeper dives, and just sort of go subject by subject. So, like, stay tuned because we're gonna do like a Vase reference image, reference footage, in painting, out painting, all the cool things you can do with Vase. Try to slam them all and show you all examples sort of in one stream. So that it'll be hard work, but I think it'll be cool because yeah, unless you've seen what people are doing with this stuff, you don't really you can't just you just can't imagine what's possible. Like trajectory stuff now, you can like tell it like which way you want stuff to go in the images. And speaking of all that, and I know this is outside of what we were talking about, but I don't know if y'all saw what's going on with VO3 right now, but you can take a screenshot, draw on the screenshot. You know, I
So
want this wall to be red. I want her pants to be yellow. I want this,
so
and
sick.
doodle it and send that in as the image. And it somehow through emergent properties figured it out. And from the examples I've seen, no, I haven't tried this myself, so I can't, you know, I can't tell you it works for sure. But holy cow, man, to be able to like for an art director to be able to say no, like just move this over here a little bit and then take this, like that's how they communicate generally anyway. And to be able to just feed that to an AI is wild. So yeah, that's pretty
So
cool.
really quickly touching on that, I don't know if you know, like, so when I saw these examples, like, yeah, you're doodling on this picture and you put it in, is the idea that it like it obviously infers the instruction, but does it like in paint your doodles and kind of make them go away? Is that the idea? Or like,
Yeah, yeah, it seems like
okay,
it doesn't even like it doesn't try to like draw the in paint the doodles onto it or anything. It just
okay.
does what you asked it to with the doodles. So yeah, it's yeah. I need to see it in action before I get too excited about it. But from the influencer clickbait articles I saw, it looks really cool. Looks really cool. So yeah, the truth is probably somewhere in the middle. You know, with a lot of this stuff, it works with certain cases, and
Yeah.
other times it completely ignores it. But just the fact that it even worked a couple times is really neat. All right, friends, let's dork out. I think it's this one. Oh, we're just big. There we go. Would
What
anyone
kind of
like some
cupcakes are
muffins?
these? Yeah, what are these?
I think they're honey.
They better not be raisin.
Yeah, they're brand muffins, buddy.
Perfect. My digestion will thank me.
Um, so yeah, you guys can imagine what's happening here. We're taking image one, we're taking image two, and we're going between them. It is that simple. Like this is not a super complicated thing we're doing today. So you know, I'll walk you through the whole workflow here, but you know, and also I'll drop this workflow on the Discord after the stream. Actually, I can drop it one morph. I'm going to drop it right now in the Discord. So if you guys want to play along, go ahead, and then you can, if you're having trouble finding the what's that, comfy org stream one morph. Um, if I recall correctly, I got this workflow and modified it off of Banadoko. I don't remember who made it, and I feel bad about that. But yeah, I'm not trying to claim this as my own work or anything. This is sort of how the community works. So yeah, I'm going to drop the workflow, and then we're going to get right back to it. General chat.
I love this
Workflow,
comment. Shout out to Taz.
stream. All right, so you guys go ahead and grab that, and shout out to who?
Oh, I was just saying, like,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
whatever you like, ladies. Whatever you like, ladies.
Yeah. Dealer's choice.
Yeah. You can prompt walk with it and make it smooth. So yeah, well, I'll talk about that a little bit. The prompt works best when you describe what is happening in the first image. But we'll talk about that. If you need to actually make something happen, like let's say I have me and then a target image, I might actually have to make a third center middle image that has the action that I want to happen in the middle. This isn't like super smart in the way, like I can't say like make a wave wash over me into the next image or something. I mean, maybe you can, but it's chances are it's not so great. We'll get to that. Frank asked why we're using T2V when using images. Good question. We'll get to that. But yeah, where was I? Prompt walk. So yeah, the prompting doesn't matter as much as the images themselves. So just make that intermediate image, and then you can totally just do your thing. Boom, boom, boom. Okay, so one cosvid. Okay, so I send you guys a workflow. All the links you need are in the top left here, and then they go into these folders. Okay, so like just download the files and put them in the folders, and this workflow should work. So Frank asked, why are we using text to video? VACE text to video tends to work better than the image to video stuff. The image to video stuff is great when you're not using VACE, but in this, we're using VACE to do the masking. And I'll show you what that means over here. We're making these sort of like masks that they're not like anything special, but all you're telling it is image one is the black frame, and then interpolate image two. We're telling VACE to do that because the way VACE does this is better, in my opinion, than the image to video first last frame model itself. So this method yields better results than just using the straight up image to video for this specific purpose. If you are just animating static images, you don't need them to move to another image. The image to video models are fantastic.
So is, in your opinion, you said better, like, is it holds those two frames more accurately?
Yeah, the transition, like well, okay, so this transition here, it's not perfect, but it's doing the thing, absolutely doing the thing. When I use the image to video ones with the first last frame, I find it goes to about, like, say this is 81 frames. It's image one till about frame 70, and then it's a hard, janky jump to the next one. So this one, like, sort of, for whatever reason, sort of spreads the change over longer. I think it has to do with this node here, the WAN video VACE start to end frame that creates these masks, because you can actually play with the way the mask works and stuff. So yeah, again, like, this is just the building blocks of the workflow, guys. So please play with stuff and let us know what happens, because if you find better settings than the ones I have, then let us know. But yeah, so yeah, let's start over here. We're just loading all the models. We're loading our WAN text to video. We're using 1.3B right now for speed, but this all works with 14B as well. So when you're ready, you want to jump quality and do all that stuff, you can. And again, all that stuff works with the distillation, LoRAs, the LightX, and CosVid, and all that stuff. So in this one, we're using CosVid, and we're rendering, I think, about 6 steps, which on this 5090 takes 8 seconds. 8 seconds.
That's insane. I guess it's the 1.3B.
Yes, like, it's small, it's little, but still
it's impressive.
Holy cow.
That's like faster than some pictures take to render.
One more time, sorry?
I said that's faster than some image models.
Yeah, I know.
You know what
I
I
know.
mean?
I
It's
know.
crazy
I know. I
fast.
know. I know. All right. So yeah, so we're loading our LoRa here. This is the LoRa that reduced the step count from 20 to 4 to 8. Or more than 20, whatever. But yeah, the point is, yes, it does reduce the quality. The workflow is the workflow is on the Discord, the Comfy org Discord. I just dropped it in the general channel. You can grab it there if you want to play along. Um, all right. Yeah. So LoRa squishes the model down so that it works in less steps, which is awesome. There's another one here. This is disabled right now because it's more related to the 14B model. LightX. LightX to me is my favorite um, distilled model for these models, but I don't think there is one for 1.3B. So we're using the CosVid one right now. Uh, I should say 1.3B is the small model, 14B is a large model. When you hear me say that, just remember 14B, lots of VRAM, slow, better quality. 1.3B, smaller, faster, lower quality. All right. Block swap here. Block swap is a thing you can use to reduce the amount of VRAM that it takes to load these models, but it increases the inference time. So if you have less VRAM, you can play with that block swap number to make it fit on your video card with the knowledge that it will make your run take longer, but taking longer than not working, or taking longer is better than not working. So yeah, block swap is your friend if you want to. All that information's on Reddit. If you need to know how that stuff works, just go to Reddit, look up block swap, and people. Yes, Open Room asked, is the 1.3 even useful? Absolutely, it is. It's my favorite because it's very
Yeah.
fast. Like I use it way more than I use the 14B.
Yeah, 1.3. I've experimented with training 1.3. It's very capable, even on the video quality, man. Like, don't discount it. It's a very powerful, capable model.
Yeah, no, totally. So yeah, here we're loading the WAN video model. I've got all the things plugged in. You'll see this compile args. You might get a workflow where you've got this WAN torch compile stuff. This is more intermediate stuff, but if you get this all set up, get torch compile set up, what this will do is the first time that it runs, it will uh, sort of compress the model, and then it'll make the runs faster, concurrent runs faster, or sequential runs later faster. So you do your first run, takes a little longer to smush the model, but then when it's done, the runs are much faster. So I'm not going to use it because the 5090 is already stupid fast, but on my 3090, I use it all the time. So we load our 1.3B BF16 model here. I'm not even quantizing this model because it fits in the 5090. But if you have less VRAM, you're going to have to look into these quantization things and which ones work for your GPU. The FP8E4M3FN is generally your best bet, but there are certain cases where they do not work with 30 series cards. You need the E5M2 if it doesn't work with your card. Other than that, that's about it. Generally, this E4M3FN is your move. If you have a 40 or a 5090, 40 or 50 series card, you can use fast mode, which is the underscore fast version, and it is faster. Quality is a little less, I think, but it's like 20% faster or something. So yeah, up to you. I use FP8E4M3FN with my 3090 for like 70% of things, but there are a few things where it gives you an error, and it's because it needs the E5M2 version. But yeah, all right. Quantization, Sage Attention. Sage Attention is kind of hard to install in Windows, but you can do it. If it doesn't work and you don't want to deal with it, just change this to SDPA. And it'll work fine. It'll just take longer. But if you do have the patience and the energy, please feel free to install Sage Attention. There's a guide on GitHub somewhere for how to do it. Yeah. the WAN 2.1 VAE, and we use the UMT XXL encoder BF16 model, quantized down to FP8 for this workflow. Right here, we're just popping our two source images in, resizing them to the canvas size for the generation. And I believe we're cropping them center. Yeah. And this here, we're using Florence 2. Florence 2 is really cool. You set it up, you feed an image into it, and then it will caption that image for you and then give you a caption. So in this, I'm using it so that all I have to do is drop the images in. Then the caption for the run is actually whatever this thing thinks it sees in the first image. So like it just saves you having to prompt everything all the time. There's also it also does lots of other really cool stuff. So do explore the Florence nodes. It can do like mapping. Yeah. IMAX says it's easy to install now. Pip install Triton Windows, Pip install Sage Attention. 94% of the time, that's correct. There are a few prerequisites to that working, though, like having certain specific versions of Microsoft Visual Studio Code, something or other, a build tool, and some other stuff. But there's articles about that all over the internet. And then, but once you have Triton going, all these things I'm talking about, Torch, Compile, Sage Attention, Tcache, all that crap will just work. So, it is worth going down the rabbit hole, but it is easier now than it used to be, which is very nice. When I did it, it was horrible. Ask Julian about that when he gets back. Okay, so it can do region caption, dense region caption, so like it can tell you like what it sees in each little spot, like, and then make a little mask for it and stuff. It can do OCR, like it can read the text in images and stuff. Caption to phrase grounding, that's for like making B boxes, like bounding boxes for all the items in your thing. Like you can say like, show me all the handbags in this footage or whatever, and it'll like mask out all the handbags. Very cool. But today we're just using it to grab captions.
One thing to note here too, though, if you're using Florence, it's basically just going to be describing the picture. However, with this workflow, if you decide to manually prompt, you are essentially dictating how the transition will be. So if I just like have a picture of Purz and then a picture of me, but then my prompt is like explosion, it will transition with an explosion, as opposed to whatever Florence decides to give you.
Well, you know what, buddy? Let's test your little theory, because I have a picture of you.
Okay.
We'll test your little theory, sir. I do have a picture of you somewhere.
In the naughty folder.
Yeah. I don't remember where it is. That's okay. I can make one. I'm going to make an image of Phil.
No. Would you have a LoRa on me? No, I don't like that.
No, I have this, so I can just split the last half, the left half off. So we're gonna crop this one left. This is not gonna work, by the way. This is gonna be very stupid. All right, so let's remove the. We're gonna remove the prompt from the Florence output. We're gonna change it to explosion.
Yeah, it's interesting. I was experimenting with these workflows and flipping back and forth between 14B and 1.3B. And it was interesting to see how the different models interpreted the prompts, because that's where I actually found the most difference. Like, yeah, okay, there's quality that's understandable and kind of obvious to me, but like sometimes the 1.3 would actually interpret the prompt better than the 14B. It's just flavor, really. It's same but different.
Look how fast that was.
Yeah, that's silly.
So that's what I was saying about the prompt really not having that much of an effect on it. But if I were to make an image of me and then an
Interesting.
explosion, and then go from the explosion to Phil, and then Phil to an explosion, then an explosion back to me, we can make a video where we're, doing that. So let's try that. So we'll start with me, and then we'll add an explosion. Grab an explosion off the old a nuclear bomb
Off the old interwebs.
off the old interwebs.
Is this going to be the center, like the middle frame?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
looks okay.
So we'll grab this one here. It looks cool. So this should just make an explosion. And then we'll go from the explosion to Phil. And then we'll go from Phil to another explosion and then back to me. And then we'll just loop that. So just remember, like to make an extension here, it's a very simple formula, right? Start image, end image. Then your end image becomes your start image, and then your next image. And then you just keep swapping and swapping and swapping. And look at the way that
So funny.
yeah, like paper, like it folded in like paper. So now, like what I was saying, we'll go from the explosion, copy image, go from the explosion, back to Phil. Where was that picture of Phil? All right, and you're still quality left, so then I'll work. Uh-oh. I think I broke Comfy, everybody. Wouldn't be the first time.
Mm-hmm.
Should be a Phil in here somewhere. There he is. All right, left. So now this explosion should turn into Phil.
This is where you start daisy chaining them together, right?
Yeah, like if you want, you can just keep like building this workflow out so that it's some giant monolithic thing that you just drop a bunch of images into. But
I actually have that. We can jump to that
later. Yeah. I mean, it's it's cool, but sometimes it's overkill. You can oh my god.
Did it work? Oh my lord.
Like,
my arms, how they start up, that's ridiculous.
Oh yeah, that's good stuff. All right. And then
my dreads like fall.
And then we're gonna do this the hilariously lazy way. So now Phil turns into Purz. I'm just rewiring these.
Mm-hmm.
In case people don't know what I'm doing here. And so let's do that just so it makes more sense. All right. And then, so no. We need to go from Phil to explosion. That was actually right. Yeah. And then back to me. You're giving off Jared Leto in that We Crashed movie vibes here. You know, he plays the CEO of WeWork.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
There's 8 people in the chat that know what I'm talking about.
Maybe.
Oh no, I didn't center it. So you're like, what is this video?
Yeah,
that's that?
Weird. Yeah, what? I think the cropping messed up. It looks, dude.
Yeah, I think it did too.
What the heck happened? It looks like it's getting. Oh, you know what? Look, if you zoom in on the depth map, it's cropping some of me in there.
Yeah.
See, there you go.
Yeah. Oh, I see what happened. Left. You were actually left earlier. I wonder if that matters. Let's just leave that alone. Yeah, you're right. That's totally what it is. That's hilarious. The depth map turned into like a little like woman in purple like.
I don't even know. It looks like a baby almost.
Can you do a video on WAN settings one day? I have 50, 90, and 96 gigabytes of RAM, but my output turns out blurry. It shouldn't be blurry.
Could be a prompt thing. Could be a lot. There's always like a little I get this with Flux sometimes. Sometimes my outputs are blurry, and it's really just like a roll of the dice on the seed, or sometimes the prompt.
Hmm.
But a good starting reference is open up the default workflows, either provided from Comfy or someone on the community. Follow it to an absolute T. Don't modify anything. Just get it
Yeah.
working, and then expand off of that. Look at that serious look. I'm blue steel vibes.
You know, the blurriness might be from doing too few steps with the LoRa not activated.
Yeah.
Because those
Yes.
LoRa's, they're designed to sort of reduce the step count. But if the LoRa is either corrupted, not working, in the wrong folder, not enabled, whatever, if you're only doing 4 steps on something that's supposed to take 20, that's generally where the blurriness will come in. So this video sucks, but we made it. Let's smash that all together. So we can actually use Comfy as video editor here. Load video. Oh, actually, well, we can normally, but because I'm using this on a cloud server, I'm gonna actually just download it.
Right. Yeah.
ComfyUI output one video wrapper. Otherwise, I'd have to go manually download all these files.
Mm-hmm.
7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Download. Allow. Okay. We got our WAN video wrapper videos. Okay, so let's let me load up my local Comfy real quick. AI Comfy. We can make more silly videos while we wait for that to load up. Okay, boop boop boo. One more. Boom, boom. Oh, actually, no, we can just do it in here. So let's load video. Video 1 is actually, I think I have them right here. So video 1 will be did I do this wrong? Me to fill, me to explosion. So me to explosion. Oh no, don't do that. BS path. All right. It's working. And explosion.
Open room asks, "Do you miss animate diff?" You know what? We still use animate.
I never stopped using animate diff.
Dude, it's one of the best.
It's too
Honestly,
good.
like I love this about the AI space. Everyone's in this pursuit of quality and temporal consistency, but at the end of the day, every step we took along the way becomes its own artistic flair and style. Like if I wanted the deforum look, I can't achieve that with one. I have to do the deforum method, right? Same goes with animate diff. If I want the diff look, one can't do it. I have to use diff, and like that's really cool. You can kind of choose your flavor as you go.
Yeah. There we go. I think that's the whole video. So we're gonna stitch these together. Let me do like image batch. Batch images. Yeah. So basically all we're doing here is we're just stitching these 4 videos together. So I've just made the batch images node here. And then we're going to go 3 and 4. And then batch 1, batch 2. And then send that out to a video combine. Who needs a video editor? We got ComfyUI.
Sometimes it is easier just being like, do it, just do it. Build the workflow and it does it.
Yeah. Just so this makes sense to everyone. You see what we're doing here? Video 1 goes into the first bit. Video 2 goes into the second bit. video 3 in the third, video 4 in the fourth, and then we combine 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then we're making basically one long batch of images, and that's all a video is. So let's hit it.
Yeah, when we get a chance here, let's jump over to my screen, Purz. I've got this pretty much an extension of what we're doing here, but I'm getting really fun results.
Yeah, the other thing I wanted to talk about before is just like you're gonna notice there's one frame in between each cut where it looks a little weird. See, boom. Go in and just cut out either the first 1 or 2 or the last 1 or 2 frames in your sequence as you're doing this. And you can do that with, there's a variety of nodes in Comfy to do that with. Where you could just say like delete these from this batch or whatever, and do this and do that. But the point is, you're going to want to clean up those batches just a little bit because they do have that sort of momentary little jank. And also, the only other reason for the other jank that happens in this is the crop in the explosion video was wrong on one of the things. So you can actually just see it like move over. When it,
yeah, I'm wondering, like, we have the two black frames for the masks and all the white ones in the middle. Well, what if they weren't like solid black? What if they were like 10% more on the gray side, so that it would slightly diffuse the first and last frame, just slightly? I wonder if that would fix it.
It's worth a shot.
Or help it.
Right on here. Let me jump over to yours.
Yeah, let me get this streaming.
But yeah, friends, I mean, you can see how easy the workflow is. You just one image to the next image, one image to the next image, easy peasy.
All right, so what we've got going on here, it's actually still running, but let's walk through this really quickly. Basically, this looks very overwhelming.
One sec. I flipped it over.
Oh, no worries.
There we go. My bad. There you go.
So here's the whole workflow in totality, and it looks very overwhelming, but it really is what Purz has built in his first example, daisy chain together. So you can see at the top here, we have these like columns, or these rows rather, and each row is essentially a different inference step. And at the top here, we see our start frame, end frame. This is just for me to visualize our masks. And we have essentially 5 images here that are being diffused. So this is just our model loader section. I'm using the 14B. I'm rendering actually quite low res just for speed, and I'm doing 49 frames in between each of the images. Above here, I have 5 instances of Florence, and it's a little confusing, but the prompt that I'm using for each section is the image that comes after it. So from this image to this image, I'm prompting for this image. And then from these two, I'm prompting for the second one. So the idea is from here to here, I want this prompt to be this image as a transition, right? And then when I get to the end, it's actually prompting the beginning. And so we do get a full 360 loop here. And so here's the first transition. Pretty nice. And we've got the second image transition. This one's really nice, this spin. I love that. We've got the third. This one's a little more sharp. It really is a luck of the draw between seed and prompt, honestly. And we've got the fifth image. A little more jank. And then we loop back around to the starting image. And then the result of it is we get this nice melting video between 5 totally randomly picked images in my library of pictures I've made. And it's just so fun to just experiment and throw in whatever to just see what happens. Like, it's always so interesting to see what happens. So like, I think I'm gonna do this again really quick. Let's do some like black and white pictures. I think that'd be really, really interesting.
Yeah, this is exactly what I was talking about when I said, how many folders of images do you guys have on your computers? The stuff that you've made that's just sitting there.
Totally. Yeah, I've got a bunch of these like black and white, like
Bring it to life, especially if you were going down
tons of
rabbit holes,
skulls.
because those rabbit holes then make cohesive videos, right?
Mm-hmm. All right, so we got some weird skulls, some more weird skulls. This one has Bitcoin on it, which is hilarious. I don't even remember making that. And yeah, just another black and white image. So I'm just going to let this rip. And so we're going to see this go through and prompt all of the Florence images. And, I don't want to sit here and prompt this. So this is why I'm leveraging Florence. All the models should be loaded. Now it's just going through the text encoders. And I am only running 4 steps, 720 by 512, 49 frames. So it should take like 10 to 20 seconds per run. So the whole workflow should take only a few minutes to fully go through. So here's my 4 steps. And yeah, so it's going to take 20 seconds, basically 25 seconds per video transition. I am on a 50 series card, so keep that in mind. But even at low res, it's really impressive at what WAN 14B can do. I'm going to check my VRAM usage right now. And let's see. I am using 24 gigs. So this should be able to work on 40 series, even 30 series cards, even at 14B. I'm not doing block swapping.
Mm-hmm.
So here's the first transition. That's pretty sick. So the second one's coming out soon. This one is so nice. I love this rotation.
Yeah.
It's so cool. Yes, this one. Ooh, that one's really smooth. The skull kind of like falls apart.
Mm.
And so, yeah, I mean, like, you could imagine how fast this would be if I was on the 1.3B. It would just be zipping. Like, what do you say, 8 seconds per?
Yeah, and I was actually doing longer runs.
Yeah, like more frames.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and that's another thing, right? The transition quality really like matters on how many frames you have. Less frames sometimes doesn't give it like enough time basically to like go from one picture to the other. It depends how similar the frames are. If it's all the same character, like she's a person facing this way and then her hand is up and then she turns around, yeah, you might be able to get away with less frames in between each image pair because the images are so similar, right? So it's got all that prerequisite knowledge of where it should go. But in this case, like, I found if I dropped it too low, the transitions were harsh. Like, look at this one. This one is just a complete cut between these two
Every
pictures.
now and then you will get a hard, just a straight up hard cut when you're doing this stuff. That's seeds. That's just, that's just luck of the draw on that. Just do another run, different seed.
Yeah, and so this is the great thing about this kind of style of workflow is if I don't like this, I can flip this seed, right, and increment it or whatever, and then yes, it will have to do every other video clip underneath it, in next in the line, but it does allow you to like quickly just flip through and be like, okay, and that's the perfect looping video. And so to kind of walk through what's happening here,
Just zoom in on those wires over there on the left.
yeah, look at these. Yeah,
it's looking good, man.
Yeah, dude.
It's nice.
What are you thinking,
nice.
Alfredo or like red sauce?
It's looking good. It's looking good. It needs that. It needs that Christmas. You need that Christmas theme.
Oh no!
Snow on all the cables.
No, that's disgusting. Okay, just to quickly walk through because it's not clear looking at my spaghetti mess. But so we're encoding all of the first images, and they're going to their individual VACE encoders, right? Input frame, et cetera, et cetera. But we're taking the output of the first video, or the video that comes prior, and I'm coming down here and I'm selecting, this is a node that I made, but there's many that do it. I'm selecting the last frame out of that sequence, and it's becoming the first frame of the next one in line. And so no matter what happens, I'm always grabbing the last frame to be interpolated to the next. And the final step that's happening here is we're doing a film, or no, we're doing rife, just interpolation, just to make everything a little more buttery.
Yeah.
And funny enough, this actually takes longer to run than WAN.
Yeah, that's I was getting that too when I was doing them. It's like, oh man, interpolating these takes longer than actually making them. That's crazy.
That is crazy. Yeah. Yeah, this should be done soon. But I mean, like, fair enough. 49 times 5. There's a lot of frames here to interpolate between. Yeah, and this is actually a really cool trick. Shout out to Sir Spence for designing this back in like the animate diff days. But this essentially allows like a perfect loop when you were doing frame interpolation. And so what's happening here is I'm taking all the image batches, I'm removing the first frame, we're interpolating. Oh, sorry. I'm removing the first frame and I'm putting it to the back of the image sequence, and then I'm interpolating it, and then I'm removing a single frame from the front. And essentially what that does is it interpolates the last frame to the first frame in a very like cyclical, perfect interpolation manner. And so this is the final result we get as we flip through. And you can tell some of
that's
the
actually the only way that there's the only way we used to be able to get loops with interpolated videos.
Totally. Yeah, so
lore,
this is
a little lore for you, back in the day lore.
Yeah, so this is like one of the like fun ones where I built the system, it's running, it's on principle very simple, because exactly what Purz was showing, it really is like as simple as just getting that first image to image workflow and then going ba 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 ba, and then chaining them all together, right? But yeah, Purz, we can jump over to you, or we can continue to play with this. What are you feeling like?
Yeah, let's jump over. It's a little hard to read, unfortunately. Wicked workflow. All right, where were we? Naked stupid videos. Let's make stupid videos. I have a bunch of stupid pictures of myself, all kinds of them. Where is it? Crazy weekend. Let's go with yep, and that's pretty cool.
Pixel Pusher said I should make that looping thing its own node. Honestly, great idea. It's a good idea.
The pre-interpolator.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, 6 steps, 10 seconds. Crazy. 15 seconds at 720 by 720. Video blender mask.
What you made last stream, I guess.
So we're going to do that in the VACE one. When we do VACE, I will show you what you can do with That's animated masks. It's a little much to dive into today, but this input you see on this one video VACE encode, see this input frames? This takes videos, so do with that what you will. Your input frames will be, equal to whatever this num frames out is. So like, if I feed a video that's like 600 frames in, it's only going to grab the first 81 or whatever from this. So just keep that in mind as you plug these in. But yeah, input frames is the driving footage, the control footage, depth maps, open pose, line art, even regular footage,
single
all work
images.
as input frames. Yep, single images. And then the other cool thing input frames does is if you make a single image and then you make that the first frame, and then you put white everywhere you want it to dream, and then you make the rest of the frames white, it'll actually take that first image, dream everything where it's white, and then just continue dreaming the rest of the video. So there's a whole guide on how this works on the WAN GitHub. Like if you go look at like there's a thing on the VACE one rather, there's a thing that explains what all the different modes are. But you can do stuff like a picture of a man and then a picture of a candy bar, and then he'll be like holding the candy bar or drinking a Coke or this or that. Like there are a million things you can do. You can also Kaitra, our friend Kaitra showed me you can do trajectory stuff. You can make a mask where a block moves on a black and white mask, and VACE will try to do that just like Animate Diff did with ControlNet and IP adapter and stuff. And then there's also actual trajectory control for camera movement. There's sky reels for extension. It's crazy. It's crazy. We'll get into all of it.
I love how it's like a snake. I don't like this. Yeah, what's going on there?
The way it like just kind of zoops out of footage. But if you want to see, let's do something stupid. Let's make this the reference image, and we'll use one of my little silly loops. See what it does real quick, because I'm kind of curious myself. I've never really done it in this workflow before. Okay. And we're going to resize and feed you into input frames. Get rid of the input masks because we're not using the frame thing anymore. Reference images. I don't know what this is going to do, but YOLO.
I'm ready. I'm so ready for this. Send it. Ship it.
It's just going to make goo.
I mean, I'm here for it. Animate Diff all day. When WAN first came out, I did try training it on Animate Diff to see if I could get that melty kind of look. And it kind of did it. But I'm sure I could do it a lot better now.
I don't know what it did. It didn't do what we asked, though.
Whoa. That is so interesting.
Anyway, so yeah, go forth and have fun. You know what? I'll also drop this mask in the general channel as well. So if you guys want to play with the mask, you can.
It'd be a fun challenge to see if someone can dial the workflow.
Something cool, yeah.
Yeah. I want to see something interesting with it.
Right on. That's cool. Okay, so let me try no reference image, right? Just this input frame, and we're going to say like waterfall. Yeah, waterfall. I don't even know. Input masks. I wonder if turning these into masks and making this an input mask would be interesting.
Yeah. No, that's yeah.
So let's try.
And then maybe I guess you only have one VACE encode here, right? You can't invert it and then put it into a second one.
No. I actually have no idea what this is going to do.
Just come out of nowhere with a sparkler. It just looks so silly.
I know.
Okay. At least it's fast. There's no harm, no foul.
Yeah, you can really just screw around. Whoa.
Okay. It's an interesting effect. It's like we're walking into a VHS video or something.
That was actually really impressive. Wow.
Where did that image come from, though?
I said waterfall. I said waterfall.
Okay.
Oh, like hot dog.
Can you?
Wait, no, not hot dog. Wait, no.
No, add to the prompts like window or something that would make sense for those bars. I think we could really, drive the meaning of the borders.
Yeah, hot dog in a window.
Oh, what the fuck? God damn it. And yep, guys, is a hot dog a sandwich? I need to know, because that looks like a sandwich.
I hate this hot dog so much.
Who puts lettuce on a hot dog?
It's so girthy.
No, don't no. Yeah, it didn't really do the thing, did it?
I don't care though. It's amazing. Yeah, I mean, it actually did do the thing because look, when it comes up, that hot dog is 100% in a window. Like that is a pane of glass in front of the hot dog.
Yeah.
It's in a little windowed room. Now this is like actually crazy. So yeah, friends, but honestly, the workflow you want for this is already in workflow, browse templates. Wait, no, wrong. Workflow, browse templates. If you go to the WAN video wrapper, there's one here for VACE control.
Well, they really added a lot. Nice.
I know. This one right here, WAN video 1.3b VACE example. This workflow, grab that, and it has the sort of three main ways you can use VACE here, and start end frame, video outpainting, and control with reference. So just go through these and play with them. This all comes with the WAN video wrapper node. It's all in the example workflows folder. You can access those folders if you go to browse templates. These are all the example workflows from all the custom nodes that you have installed, and so you can go into WAN video wrapper and try out all the different things that one can do. And I'm just noticing now WAN video multi-talk is now in main, so I think we're going to do a multi-talk stream as well later because multi-talk is super fun.
Did they fix installing it?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I haven't played.
And there's also Pusa, which is for extension. I'm just started learning about that yesterday on Bano. Somebody's got videos up to like 380 frames, 450 frames, stuff like that. There's a bit of a kajunk as it extends, but basically, we're on the verge of getting like proper context windows for this and really one becoming like, it already is like, this is
powerhouse.
The exciting thing about WAN is it's right in neck and neck with the state of the art closed video models, and in some cases is better. So like, yeah, man, open source ain't dead yet.
No, I don't think it will ever die.
No, there's too many smart people just making crazy stuff every day. So thank you, everyone. Thanks for coming out. Thanks for playing with us. We will be back Monday or Tuesday. I think it's Monday. We got a thing to do then, and then a Friday we'll be back as well. Much love, everyone. Have a great weekend. Go outside.
No,
you can batch runs on your GPU and then just go right outside.
Impossible.
You don't actually have to watch the runs if you want to spend some time with your family and stuff like that. But it's the weekend too. If you want to just make pictures, then do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not your mom. Bye-bye, everybody. We'll see you real soon. Thanks, Phil.
Thank you.